I'd been to 8 funerals before I'd turned 30 years old, and 4 of them were for people quite close to me in my life. I'd lost both of my grandfathers before I turned 20, and my first funeral ever when I was a young child was my great-grandmother's, but those weren't the people that were really the closest to me. The ones that affected me the most started when I was 23 years old, and I actually kind of witnessed my favorite uncle's suicide death. And around the same time of year, only 3 years later, my grandmother who helped raise me passed away. And I really felt the grief from that pretty hard. About a year after that, my close friend and colleague was involved in a horrific murder-suicide. And all the grief and trauma of that was really affecting me for a long time. So one day near the end of my 20s, I just kind of realized I had become a grief expert without necessarily meaning to become one. I'd been in all these grief spaces and seen all sorts of other types of losses beyond the ones I'd experienced, and seen how people were dealing with all sorts of types of deaths. I'd also seen from the 8 funerals I'd attended a big difference between the ones that felt really healing and comforting and satisfying to go to because they really honored the person, and the ones that were just like, really, that's it? That's all you're doing? We didn't even talk about the person at all. And being non-religious myself, I'd heard of Celebrants, and I just felt so passionately that everyone has access to someone who can help them craft a meaningful, really helpful farewell for their loved one. I chose to go into this career path because I just know how much it matters to really help hold space for grieving. And I'm not afraid of the emotions of grief. I know that so many people are longing to talk about it more, and I hope that you are finding places that you can talk about yours.